YouTube, so it's March now, which means it's time to tell you what my favorites were for the month of February. I have less favorites this month than I had last month because a lot of my favorites are still the same as far as makeup and hair and stuff go. And so I'm going to tell you all my new favorites from this month, and some of them are beauty and some of them are not. So here we go! First, for makeup, I have two favorites. My first favorite is this Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette that I got it at High School Pharmacy, which is like the drugstore in Independence. There's three colors, hopefully you can see that. There's an eyelid color, a crease color, and a brow bone color. And I really like these. This was only $1.50, and these colors are very, very pigmented. I'm wearing them right now on my eyes. I've been wearing them for the whole musical, and they work really good. They blend really well, and I don't know if that's just because of my next favorite or if it's these eyeshadows in particular, but they're really good neutral eyeshadows and I've been using them a lot and I like them. Wet n Wild, nice, inexpensive, good quality eyeshadow. My next favorite is this brush from e.l.f. It's a like blendy, fluffy eyeshadow brush. It was either $1 or $3. I can't remember, that's the price of all things on e.l.f. We got them online because my roommates, there was a sale, and if you bought $50 worth of e.l.f. things, then you got like price off or whatever, free shipping, and then you got a discount 30% or something. You're trying to get $50 worth of e.l.f. stuff, which is a lot of e.l.f. stuff if you've ever shopped there. Pretty much everything is between $1 and $6 and mostly towards $3. So they called everybody they knew and they were like, we need to get more e.l.f. stuff so we can get free shipping. So I got a bunch of brushes and this one is my favorite. I have a crease brush from Ulta, which worked, but it never blended things the way I thought they should, and it's actually this brush that I had always needed, and it's dome shaped, but it's fluffy, so it's not like the other one I have is a little bit hard, so, or stiffer, and so yes, I recommend this brush. It was only $1 or $3, so yeah. My next two favorites are movies, and these have always been some of my favorite movies, but this month in particular, I watched them and I was so happy that I was watching them the whole time, and it just made me really happy. So the first one is Elizabethtown. I got this at the grocery stores in Monmouth. They have this thing called Treasure Hunt, and they have a bunch of movies. They used to only have the $3 ones, and now they have $1 ones, which are really crappy movies, and then $5 ones, which are like better movies, but I got this one back when there were only $3 ones. And you have to like dig through, and they just have random movies in these little cardboard sleeves. And so I found Elizabethtown and a bunch of other ones that I really loved that I just didn't own for some reason. So Elizabethtown is one of my favorite movies. It has Orlando Bloom. I feel like you should see that right side up. It has Orlando Bloom and Kirsten Dunst, and it's just so cute. And Orlando Bloom is from Oregon, which I'm from Oregon, and it's just so happy, and it has my favorite Elton John song in it, which happens to be the only Elton John song that nobody knows every time I tell them, and it's called My Father's Gun, and I'll put a link to it somewhere here so you can go listen to it. It's my favorite Elton John song. So yeah, Elizabethtown is my first movie favorite, and my other favorite movie is Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley. And this movie is just so wonderful. It's enough, like it's engaging, but it's not so engaging that I can't do things while I watch it. So I always watch this movie while I'm writing papers or while I have to do like art projects, because it can just be on in the background and it just makes me so happy, and at the same time then I can still get stuff done. The soundtrack of this movie is by far my favorite movie soundtrack ever. I'm playing one of the songs, Georgiana. I'm gonna play it for my piano final next term, which I'm really excited about. It's the only music that I can fall asleep to. Like, not because it's boring, just because it's like calming. And so it's one of the most played things on my playlist, because every time I go on a trip and have to sleep on the airplane, I'll just listen to it on repeat over and over and over again. And then every time I come back from a trip, it's like Pride and Prejudice, listened to 5 times all the way through. This is one of my favorite movies. My roommate Marissa and I were watching it, and we were talking about how weird it is that, I mean, they talk in like old-fashioned heightened language, and it was the same with like Shakespeare. And you watch it the first time and you're like, oh, okay, this is heightened and I don't really know what they're talking about, and some of it's funny, but some of it I'm like, what's going on? And then once you like see it a couple times and understand what they're actually saying, it's so funny. And you feel like a pretentious butthead. Like, oh ho ho, Mr. Collins. And it's just really fun, and it makes you feel smart, but also it makes you feel like pretentious. So that's my other movie favorite of this month. My next favorite is a water bottle, which is weird that I would have a favorite water bottle, but I do. And it is Smart Water, which I just like the taste of this water in general, but I also really like the bottles because they're a good size and you don't lose them very easily. I wish that I could reuse, like get a reusable water bottle and use that, but I just lose water bottles too easily. So I never want to like spend $20 on one when I could just get this one for $1.50 and then use it for 2 weeks and then lose it at some point and just get another one. So like, cause I would get the $20 one and then use it for 3 weeks and then lose it. So that's how I feel about water bottles. And I was so excited because we had opening night for the musical yesterday, and I had one of these earlier in the week and I lost it. And then my voice teacher came and gave us like goodie bags before the show, and she gave me this water bottle. And so now I have another one, and I was really excited that it was my favorite water bottle that I got. So yeah. Another one of my favorites this month is a book that I haven't actually finished, but it makes sense that I haven't finished it because it's a huge book. It is this book, and it is Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. I have seen this movie multiple times, and I really like this movie. The movie's like 4 hours long, so that explains why the book's like 1,024 pages long, and I am on page 203. So I've been reading this since the beginning of the term. Scarlett O'Hara, I don't want to swear in this video, but Scarlett O'Hara is the biggest, you know, female dog that has ever existed in a movie. And she's just like, I almost can't stand her. I like the movie and I like the costumes and I like the story, but that girl, I like don't want to have anything to do with her. As I'm reading the book, I was worried that she would be annoying, but book Scarlett is much less like movie Scarlett than I expected. And cause in the movie you don't see what's going on in her head all the time, but in the book there's like, you hear every thought that's going through Scarlett O'Hara's head, and I am partly worried and partly like super excited about this book that I understand what she's saying a lot of the time. And oh, it's just so good so far, and it's romantic, and it's really cool. I like this book a lot, and I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get through it, but the writing is really like accessible, at least to me. I don't know, I like this book a lot, and I recommend it, especially if you're a girl, just because she says lots of girly things that I understand and I appreciate. And even though she's from 1861, she says a lot of things that I understand. And also it makes you want to eat fried chicken, because everybody in this book is just eating fried chicken all the time. They're like, and then we have fried chicken and biscuits and honey. I'm like, oh my god, let's go to KFC right now, which we did. Favorite book of the month, which is the only book I've read this month, but I like it a lot. My last favorite is a iPhone app, and it is this app. Hopefully you can see that. And it's called QuizUp. And it's really cool. I love trivia. So this app is little quizzes, and you can either do it, you're doing it against someone, and either you can invite your friends to do it, and then you like play and then they'll play back in and it tells you who won, or you can just do it with random people. I'm really bad at, not bad, I just feel uncomfortable like poking people on Facebook and making them and be like I'll post stuff on Facebook and be like, pay attention to me, but like picking one person in particular and being like, hey, do this quiz with me, hey, play Words with Friends with me, like I'm always afraid I'm gonna be annoying, and so I never do that. This one, even though you're like waiting, and it kind of is easier because you can target it at your friend, you're like, I know this friend likes trivia, and it's like a cool enough game that you want to play it, but this was the best during Q to Q for the musical, because we were just sitting there. They were doing the lights and we had to just be bodies in the space for them to bounce lights off of. Yeah, I played this app, so there's lots of quizzes. There's Disney quizzes, quizzes about musicals, quizzes about whatever, and you just click on it and then it'll match you up with someone from somewhere. And for some reason it says I'm from California, which is weird. And then it'll ask you questions and then you have to answer the question. I can't even read it. Mr. Toad is based on a book by Kenneth Grahame. Quiz Up, that's my favorite iPhone app of the month. So guys, that is it for my favorites for February, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions for videos you want me to see, makeup tutorials, hair tutorials, songs you want me to sing, any kind of thing like that, just comment down below and I will see what I can do. I have a whole bunch of videos planned out for the next couple of weeks, so be ready for that, and I will see you guys really soon. Okay, bye! Hey YouTube, so January is over, so that means that it is time for me to show you all of my favorite things that I used over this month. And I'm gonna have a few categories and then, yeah.